everyone, I'm Lydia from Novelty, and today I'm here vlogging before 7 in the morning because I have to leave for work, but I'm really excited about this, so I'm trying to get it started. I am doing my question and answer vlog, and look, I have Whimsy with me today because one of the questions was, can we see Whimsy again? How much reading is too much reading, and what is the balance? I think everybody should read. You can learn so much through reading, or if you're physically unable to read, then by having people read to you or by listening to audiobooks, etc. You can learn about different people and their way of life, their style of living, the ways that people think. You can learn about emotions and feelings and things you could never experience on your own through reading, plus places and ideas, etc. So reading is so important. But if you are reading instead of accomplishing things that should be done, then you're probably reading too much. But if you're like not reading at all and spending all your time, free time on social media or movies or something like that, then maybe you should read more. Would I ever write a romance novel? No. Would I ever write a novel with romance in it? Yes. What are 3 things in your life that often make you smile? Books, the people I love, and accomplishing goals. Why is fall my favorite season, and am I looking forward to winter? Oh my lands, fall is glorious. It is the perfect weather to pull a sweater on and cuddle up with a book. How would you install an interest for reading in children? I think that a big way to do this is to mimic it in your own life. If children see you reading, and if you read to them, and if you place a high priority on books, they'll probably learn to love them themselves. Would you rather teach creative writing in high school or go to college to get a degree in creative writing? Probably go get the degree because I don't really feel like I'd be a good high school teacher. What is one of your favorite Bible verses that is lesser known? It would be Ephesians 3:20, which says, "Now unto him who is able to do exceeding abundantly above all that we could ask or think." I love that verse because I can imagine so much, but God can do even more than I can imagine. What would you say is the best coffee drink ever? I like strong coffee, so probably a strong hot latte with vanilla and white chocolate flavoring and whipped topping. Several people asked about my goals and how I set them and how I stay dedicated to them. First of all, I have a goal accountability partner, and this is huge for me because it's really helped me stay on top of the task, because I know I'm going to text her each week and say, hey, my goals are written. And if I don't, she's going to text me and be like, what's up with those goals? Same thing with my daily lists and my monthly goals. If I don't write them, she's going to ask me about them. Plus, I also try and write really practical goals. Pay attention to what I'm doing that week, that month, etc., and only write goals that I can actually accomplish. And yes, I want to stretch myself, but I don't want to totally overwhelm myself, you know? Like, be practical, guys. How do you teach yourself to put feelings into words? Through a lot of work. I practice all the time in my mind. When I see an emotion, sometimes I try and describe it as if I was writing it. Sometimes when I feel an emotion, then I will just pull out a pen and paper and write it down to practice. What is your earliest childhood memory? I flew to Florida when I was 2, and that's the first thing I remember. The next question is, can we see your bunnies? Well, Whimsy's my only bunny now. When I realized that I had a male and a female, I gave the female away. And so I just have Whimsy. And then 2 people in a row say, how many siblings do you have? And one girl's like, I've been trying to count them. So I can see how it'd be confusing. I don't talk about them a ton on here. I am the 7th out of 10 children. So a lot of them are married, and I have a lot of adorable nieces and nephews, which is so much fun. Plus, then there's several people who either live with our family or have who I consider to be like siblings. So I just have this big whole wonderful family. And then to confuse matters even more, I have this second family that I call my adoptive family, and in that family I'm an only child. So I'm not legally adopted or anything. I just do a whole bunch with them and call them mom and dad, and they call me their daughter, and it's pretty wonderful. So it's just like having a second family, just not legally or blood-wise or anything like that. How do you come up with ideas to write about? Well, I try and surround myself with creativity and with things that will make me think outside the box, etc. And then when an idea does pop into my mind, I'll start honing in on it and focusing on it and thinking, okay, could this be developed into a story, and how does it work, etc., etc. And then this is not probably the way you're supposed to do it, but I generally don't write anything down. I just think about it for about a year or 2 as I'm working on other projects, because I generally have a book I'm writing and a book I'm editing, and then in the back of my mind there will be that story idea just, kind of percolating and growing stronger. And when it comes to the point where I can finally start a new book, then I have all sorts of stuff that comes out and I can brainstorm just really quickly and have a whole lot of information. Thank you so much for joining me, everyone. I didn't quite get to all the questions. I'm sorry about that. Thank you to everyone who sent me one. It was so much fun reading them.